And special hello out to Facebook and YouTube. Lauren here from Raw Consulting and the Raw Spirit team. Happy Tuesday. Of course, if you are in Australia, it's Tuesday here. I wanted to jump on here today to talk to you a little bit about where you're spending your time and how you're spending your time. So I recently put out a newsletter, and if you haven't already subscribed for the Raw newsletters, there every week, every Monday, I do a little business tip or trick, and then monthly I know about my favorite movies or books or influences or helpful tools or apps or anything like that that I might have found over the month. So if you are wanting to subscribe to this newsletter, just head to my website at rawconsulting.com. So basically I wanted to talk to you about where you're spending your time and are you putting in 50%. And what I mean by that is that there was a study by Robert Half International. And in that study, they basically talked about how employees only work 50% of the time. And the other 50% of the time is actually wasted on activities such as, being on their phone, looking on the internet, gossiping, checking and rechecking their emails, they're arriving late, they're talking water cooler, they're going for a smoke or a coffee break, they're taking longer lunch or lunch breaks, and then they're leaving the office early. So very often when you are reflecting on workload and all the things that you need to do, sometimes you might think to yourself you're being very efficient and you're putting a lot of effort in to get your jobs done, but really you could be distracted during that time and not actually having laser focus. So I want you to think about, what you're doing today. I want you to, if you're not at work right now, next time you're at work or next time you're doing a job, I want you to pay attention to whether or not you're actually doing the job at hand or whether or not you're being distracted. We get distracted like over 30 times an hour in general. And, part of that is because of all the browser tabs that we have. Now, I personally have a lot of tabs open as well, but look at them when I'm working on a tab, the job at hand. Having laser focus is super key. So I really want you to, think about, are you only putting in 50% when you're doing work, or are you actually dedicating, the time that it takes to do and accomplish each job? So one thing that I noticed that a lot of business people, entrepreneurs, and people who are wanting to grow their business are struggling with is really fitting it all in. So that's a really great place to start. Whether or not the work that you're actually doing, if you're actually there for the job, or you're, distracting and you're having to come back and go, well, what was I working on? So one program that I use is called Trello, and Trello is really helpful because you can actually write down the jobs that you're working on, like the current job you're doing. So if you do get distracted, someone phones you, somebody shows up and asks you a question or whatever, if you forget what you're working on, you can look on Trello, you can come back to that job at hand. So another thing that I have available for you, if you are interested, it's free. It's a time tracker. It's basically a whole week snapshot divided into 5-minute blocks from about 6 a.m. till about 6 p.m. And then what you do, actually go through and you keep it beside you, and every day while you're on something, you kind of make a note of what you're working on, or you make a note of, maybe where you have some gaps of time or where you're being distracted or whatever the case may be. What this can actually do is help you to find those gaps that matter in your day where you can get more done. Sometimes when we think, oh, I have 1,000 jobs that I need to do, I'm running time, the fact of the matter is that maybe you're not actually using your time wisely to accomplish the task, or maybe you actually have gaps in your day that you haven't really realized that you've got. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, I would be more than happy to answer them. As always, you can send me a DM if there's something that you're struggling in your business and you'd like, a second opinion or a helping hand. That's really what I'm passionate about, is helping people like yourself to become the best version that you can be and to help your business succeed and to thrive. So yes, that's your friendly rah-rah chat today. I'll talk to you very soon. See ya.